What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here tonight with, oh my God, you guys, this is the final season of Insecure on HBO. The final season, I cannot believe it. I have enjoyed this show every single season, even last season, season 4, which it was a season where it was okay, but it wasn't as good as previous seasons. Even season 3 was one of those seasons. Actually, season 3 is the season where they went to Coachella and Kelly got Kelly got tased and pissed on herself. Bitch, I will never forget that one. So yeah, this is season 5, episode 1. Do you guys know how many episodes are in this season? If so, let me know in the comment section below. So the episode was titled Reunited. Okay? So before we get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and are not yet subscribed to the channel, then I'm gonna need you guys to do me a big favor. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, the notification on, share the video, and with that out the way, without further ado, let's get into Insecure episode 1 of season 5. All right, you guys, so we see as it's Derek and it's Tiffany and it's Kelly. So they in the car, right? They riding to go to Stanford, their alma mater, right? This fool Kelly is back there in the back seat, like, what the fuck? Looking at her, oh, what the fuck? Just looking at her timeline on her Instagram, and I'm like, Kelly is me. Cause I be on my Instagram like, ooh, really? What the hell? Y'all still together? Like shit like that, right? So there is like, either Kelly, you need to stop that shit, or I'm gonna pull this car over. So then they talk about Molly. And then Kelly went to Molly's Instagram and she's like, oh, look at her with this hand over her face and all this kind of shit. She's saying she's okay. And you guys know in the last season, that was when Issa and Molly, they tried to patch together their friendship, but they had that big blow up, right? And after that, it was done so on their friendship, right? So then we see them at Stanford, right? We see everyone's together. We see Issa actually got off the plane and went into a car. I'm like, oh, look at Issa coming up. Got somebody picking her up, and it's not an Uber. I'm like, oh, come on, Issa. We moving on up. We moving on up, right? She got in the wrong fucking car. It wouldn't be Issa if she didn't get in the wrong car, right? So we see them all there, right? So things are still a little bit awkward and tense between Issa and Molly, right? So they embrace each other and they actually have the same exact, sweatshirt on. So they're twinsies. I'm like, ooh. So this might be a good sign for them, right? So we find out that Issa is going to be speaking on a panel at Stanford, right? They invited her there. They flew her out. They basically rolled out the red carpet for Issa, right? Kelly Kelly comes up there talking about what the fuck. So apparently Kelly is dead. I'm like, wait a minute, how in the hell did they even get the fact that? Because in the school yearbook, right? They have when how they do on award shows in remembrance of those people. So Kelly is in there, right? She's like, you know what? This might be good for me. This might be good for me to create one of my new personas. She's like, I want to be French, French. I was like, oh my God, Kelly is a fucking fool. But I love the fool nonetheless. Kelly is a goddamn fool, but I love him. Kelly, that's my nigga right there. That is my nigga. Loves me some fucking Kelly. So we're going to pause here and we're going to keep moving, you guys. Kelly is a fool. All right, you guys. So we see they done left, actually they had to check in, and Issa was like that funny looking, that smiling bitch over there. When y'all came in, did they have to create you guys a name tag or what? Cause that smiling bitch over there said I didn't register or something like that. I was like, here we go with Kelly. So they're walking through the yard, right? And you see Issa waving at people, and they were like, Issa, we can clearly tell who you don't fucking remember. She's like, is it that obvious? They were like, yeah, it really is. So Issa's hugging this one girl, and you can literally, I'm like, ma'am, you don't realize that this girl don't know who you are. So obviously she knew, but the girl knew who Issa. She knew who Issa. She knew who Derek and Tiffany them were. I guess at one point she had a little thing for Derek, but Derek and Tiffany were together, and they were like, everybody know that you and Derek were together, except maybe that bitch, because I mean she was a thirsty bitch. That's what Issa called her. I was like, oh my god. So then we see, so Molly pulls Kelly to the side, right? Molly asked Kelly how long did it take for her and Tiffany to be fake good before they were actually good, right? She says, hell, we were fake good before we were even good, right? But she tells her, I even had to laugh at her corny ass jokes that weren't even funny. And then she just tells Molly, like, when it comes down to you and Issa, right? It's okay to not be in a good space, basically, right? Don't force things, right? Don't force it. Just give it time. And I'm like, wow, listen to Kelly giving sound advice. And then they walk in and Tiffany tells a joke and Kelly laughs and she's like, see, it's a lifelong thing. Oh my God. So you still laughing at her corny ass, not so funny jokes, right? So then we see what looks like, I guess, like a mixer, right? So I guess back in college, Molly and Issa, as well as another girl who went on to dance for Sierra, they were in this rap group called, I believe she said Trap Habit. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, correct me in the comment section, right? So then they see that group member, her name is Cheyenne. Cheyenne, I kept looking at her for the longest time. I'm like, wait a minute, Cheyenne looks hella familiar. Cause I just kept looking, I'm like, that Cheyenne looks familiar. Then it clicked to me. That is Priscilla from the Oval on BET. She looks so different. Wow. The way Tyler Perry dresses her on the Oval and how she's dressed on Insecure, complete different. Because on Insecure, she looks like she is around Issa's them age, right? But on the Oval, she looks old as hell. No shade, no shade, but she just looks old. But I was like, come on, Priscilla. So they start rapping, and then Cheyenne said, you still got it, Kelly? So she lifts her leg up in there, and Kelly said, oh yeah, bitch. I still got it. And Kelly lifts her leg. I'm like, oh shit, come on, Kelly. That's my girl. So we're going to pause here, and we're going to move forward. All right, you guys. So then we see Molly and Derek, right? So Molly and Derek, they're talking to two guys. One of them, we don't know his name. The other one, his name is Amari, right? So they're having this conversation, and then Derek just blurts out, hey, Omari just got a divorce, and Derek and the other guy, they dip out. And not Issa, but Molly was like, what the hell was that? He was like, they planned that. So we find out a little bit more about Molly and Omari. So Molly and Omari, when they were in college, they were basically fuck buddies, right? So they were fuck buddies. So do you think that's gonna work out? Two fuck buddies, one just got a divorce. Maybe they can just have fun with each other. Who knows, right? Kelly, back to Kelly. So just like I was saying a few minutes ago, how at the award shows they do when they remembering the people that passed on. It was a white lady. Kelly was like, oh, sorry about sorry about that white lady. And then she was like, what the fuck? Once again, it's what the fuck, right? Like, it said on Kelly's, she had the best stanky leg, and she always carried a purse. She was like, how the fuck do you remember that kind of shit? So nobody remembers Kelly. That's so fucked up, right? So then I guess Issa might be like back in her dorm. I don't know where she was, but she walked by her mirror, and she saw college, throwback Issa. So throwback Issa had braces on her teeth. She's like, oh, throwback Issa. And throwback Issa's like, you got your braces off? Let me see them teeth. Let me see them teeth. Show me how you eat. Bitch, when Issa did that, I died. I cracked up. Let me see them teeth. Let me see them teeth. Show me how you eat. I cracked up. That shit was funny. So throwback Issa's asking her, has she met T-Pain? Has she did this? Are you a lawyer? She's like, I didn't really want to be a lawyer. That was more so Molly's thing. Bitch, I'm still stuck on her. Let me see them teeth. Let me see them teeth. Show me how you eat. I'm still stuck on that. I cannot get past that. Issa did tell Throwback Issa that create an app called it Instagram. I was like, she's like, what's an app? It was hilarious. It was hilarious. So then we see this panel, right, that Issa's on. So this panel is basically about entrepreneurism, right? So she is up there with four other people. And although nobody was really, I mean, when she spoke, when the guy was speaking to the audience and he rapped, the audience was into it, right? But then when Issa talked, the audience wasn't into it. The the speaker, he couldn't pronounce her company. He said blow CC. Dude, you can literally see that says, well, technically you can't see it, it spells block because of how the logo is. BLO is big, and then the CC is like right above it. So yeah, Issa, you should have just put it all together. Hell, Issa don't even know what black stands for. She can't even get the acronym together. But hey, but I will say though that what Issa was saying in that was some real shit, right? Like, she does have this business because because at one point he asked them how did they know that they made it, right? But he's like, she's like, I don't even know that I have made it, right? I could wake up, I could wake up tomorrow and be like, damn, I ain't got it. He was like, thank God I got a 9 to 5. I was just like, well, damn, sir, you just shot her down. I was like, that was fucked up, mister. But I get what Issa's saying, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit, right? So let's move on. All right, you guys. So afterwards, we see them all, they're talking, right? And, the girls, they big up at Issa, right? So then we see, I think Tiffany's getting ready to go to an AKA thing, right? Kelly is going to go to the band and see what they doing to remember her. So Tiffany asked Molly if she wanted to, roll with her. She's like, Issa, she asked Issa, does she want to do something? And Issa's like, as long as it's over drinks, cool. And she was like, okay, cool. So let's do it. So then we see Molly. So they're talking. Issa and Molly are talking, right? Molly is doing typical Molly. She's being Molly, and she's wondering, why is Omari texting her? Why did he get a divorce? What did he do? What did his wife do? I'm like, Molly, this is your issue. This was the issue with Andrew. You let so much, instead of just being in the moment, you gotta Molly shit up, right? So then they see a bus go by, right? And they go down memory lane. So then Issa, she's down on herself, right? And I have the same issues that Issa has. I'm in my 30s. I'm 32 years old, right? And, I went to college, got a degree. I'm not even really using my degree at this point in my life, right? But I just had these questions about, like, I'm 30 years, and I had this before I turned 30. It was like, I'm 30 years old. What have I done with my life, right? I don't feel like I've accomplished anything in my life, right? So I understood where Issa was coming from. It's just like, you literally look at yourself and you think to yourself, I went to college. I had this plan for myself when I got out of college. That plan did not come to fruition. But technically, if I think about it, my plan has kind of come to fruition, but not in the way that I wanted it, right? Because when I got out of college, so I went to school, I got a business degree, right? I wanted to own my own, I wanted to open businesses, I wanted to be an entrepreneur, right? But the thing is, I am an entrepreneur. It's just not the path that I envisioned for myself, right? But I am an entrepreneur. I have my YouTube channel, I have you guys, and I'm building this. This is a business, this is a brand. So I'm building this up. And then I also do, Uber Eats on the side. That is a business. That is my business. I work the hours that I want to work, I do things on my time, no one else's. So I look at my life and I say, my life isn't exactly where I wanted it to be by the time I was 30 years old or even 32, but we're making strides, right? And I feel that, at some point, I'm going to get to where I want to be eventually. I know that because I still had these business ideas in my head. I think the thing for me is to stop being afraid. I think that's the biggest issue. That's the biggest issue and the biggest hurdle for me is fear. I fear the unknown. I don't want to jump into something and not know how it's going to pan out for me. And I think that's the biggest problem. Even with YouTube, I wanted to do YouTube when I was in college. I wanted to do it then, but it was the fear of not knowing what to expect on YouTube, right? It was the fear of what people would say about me. That was the biggest fear I had. What were people gonna say about me, right? Were people gonna make jokes about my teeth? Because at that time I had it wasn't that big of a gap, but I had a big gap. And then I also like, will people, try to make, you know, just make jokes about me in general. So, and you guys love me, and I love you guys. So I don't know why I didn't do it years ago, but I'm glad I'm doing it now. So I got where Issa was coming from, right? And this is all coming to her after sitting on that panel, just looking at, the other people. And I will say though, right? People show you what they want you. People show when you see people, they show you their representative. So these people could be telling you that they got this business, that business, that business, but how successful is that business, right? That's what it boils down to. So then Issa and Molly, they're talking, right? So Molly says that she just wants things to be cool between them, right? Then they get a text from Kelly saying that Cheyenne wants to go out to this club that they went to when they were in college. And he was like, that's the club I got kicked out. Hell yeah, let's go to that club. So we're gonna pause here, and I think we're gonna wrap the episode up. All right, you guys. So we got Kelly, we got Tiffany, Molly, Issa, and Cheyenne. They out in the car. They getting ready to hit the scene, and Cheyenne was like, y'all know they water their drinks down at the club, right? So let's stop at the convenience store and get something to drink. Meanwhile, Kelly is in her feelings because don't nobody remember shit about Kelly. I'm just trying to figure out how the fuck is Kelly dead. How did they even come up with Kelly being dead? I forgot to mention that they talked to Issa and she said Kelly gonna be Kelly. And they captured that. So they go to the liquor store, right? So it's Issa, Molly, and Cheyenne, right? They went in there. Then they come back out, and it's this guy that walks up on him. He got a gun on him. Mind you, he's holding the gun down. But, Issa's like, Molly's like, Issa, he got a gun. So he take their purse, Molly's watch, and Issa's purse, right? So Cheyenne overheard like, oh my God, we about to die. Oh my God. He's like, bitch, shut up. And then eventually he slipped and said, Shy, you always, they were like, Shy? She's like, well, fuck it, hell. It is what it is. Y'all my girls, but anybody can get it. I'm like, damn, and she continued to rob the fuck out of them. I was like, that's fucked up. So she told Molly, yeah, bitch, give me them shoes. And he's like, you want my shoes? She's like, Issa, nah, baby, keep your shoes. So then they go back to the car, and Tiffany and Kelly asked them, where's Shy? Molly and Issa's like, she robbed us, and they just busted out laughing. It was fun. It really was funny, though. And then Issa was like, why didn't you want my shoes? They were like, Issa, you know why. Oh, shit, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. So then we see them at this diner, right? So Issa, Molly, and Tiffany, they are remembering Kelly as if this fool is actually dead. And then Tiffany is talking about this fool washed away in a flood. I was like, oh my God. So they leave, right? So Molly asked Issa about Omari, and Issa was like, you want my opinion? She's like, yeah. And Issa was like, don't trip on him. Like, he was the one that was pressed about you. And she said, what I loved about you was that you were basically go with the flow and just be that person, right? So then they both say to each other that they want to move forward. And I'm happy about that, right? I'm happy that Issa and Molly are finally at a point where they can say, let's move forward with our friendship. So then we see Issa and Lawrence, they're in the car together, right? So I was like, are they back together? Are they not back together? Are we ever going to talk about Condola being pregnant? Like, what's up with that? So Lawrence dropped Issa off, right? He got her bag out. He wanted to talk, but Issa says, you know what, Lawrence, I've been doing some thinking. And that's all she said. And he was like, yeah, I know. So at this point, there's no more Molly and Issa. Honestly, I know there are a lot of people that are part of the Lawrence hive and want Lawrence and Issa back together. But I'm not one of those people that want Lawrence and Issa back together. I think that Lawrence and Issa, it's a done deal. And they were in each other's lives for a reason and for a season. And that's past. And they are in different spaces. So I don't really feel too much about it, right? But that's the first episode. I'm so sad. Like, I know I'm gonna probably be sad. Probably the episode before the finale. I'm gonna be sad, really sad then. But that's the first episode, you guys. So leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified when I drop anything else. Share the video, and until the next one, you guys stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. So Potomac and Salt Lake City, you might see those first thing tomorrow morning. But until then, you guys, bye. I just had to do this one because I had watched it first. So bye, guys.